Hi chaps, MOP here from Beard, Biceps and Batchat. Today's video is the next installment in the road to tier 10, the M48 Patton. I have got rid of the Pershing and moved on to the M46 Patton. So this is, I've probably had a few games in it by the time you're watching this replay. This is a tier 9, tier 8 game on Scorpion's Pass, assault mode, part of the defending team. So before it all gets into position and the gameplay really kicks off, the M46 Patton was very interesting to get to grips with initially. So the Pershing has a really good gun mantlet where you can bounce a lot of shot. I'm sure I posted my last video in the series. I blocked about 6,000 damage in the thing. This has no armor. You are bouncing nothing. In return for having no armor, what you get is a gun with absolutely amazing DPM. So the alpha damage on this gun is on average is 390 damage. It works out 2,600 DPM per minute. The reload is just shy of 7 seconds. Where this gun really starts to lack, though, it's not all good, is when it comes down to the penetration. So your normal rounds, you're only getting 218 millimeters of penetration. The premium, 265 rounds of penetration. So you are going to find yourself pressing that X button, especially in tier 10 games. So with no armor, great DPM, it can be a little bit difficult to figure out exactly how you're going to play this tank. The view range, again, like all the tanks down this line, is very, very good for its level. It works out, I think, 410 meters. That sounds about right to me. 410 meters, giving you about 10 meters ahead for everyone else, especially if you're putting on optics, view range skills, and if you're being really cheeky, chucking food on the tank as well. So I struggled initially figuring out how to play this tank. Obviously no armor, as you can see here, meant I was taking a lot of damage early on when I first started playing the tank. The stock grind is horrendous on this tank, so if you have free EXP, use it and start getting the better guns. We've managed to get about 10 degrees of gun depression on this tank. Again, that doesn't make our turret armor any good, it's still unlikely to bounce. So the best way I've found to play this tank is pretty much what you're seeing in this game. You want to get yourself in a support position to support the main advance, use your 10 degrees of gun depression as much as possible, use your view range to spot vehicles before they can spot you, and just as much as possible just start unleashing your DPM at the enemy. That may be your first shot tracks them, second shot goes into, as we saw there, into the front of the tank. Regardless, you just need to make sure you remain unspotted as much as possible. You need to ensure you are not the focus of enemy intentions. If you are, they are just going to melt through your armor. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, and you can't just sort of play in a daze. You really have to think about what you're doing and where you're going and what the risks are to what you're about to do. So in this game here, we've got a little bit of a lead in the tier 9 game. I'm quite confident sitting in this position here. I'm able to spot all the way to the B line on their 3 spawn, where I suspect most of our tanks are going to push. We've got a couple of tanks that are pushing in the valley below us, so I know I'm fairly safe that nothing's going to take me unexpected. So what I want to do at this point is, while these guys are spotting stuff, just put as much damage into the enemy as we can. We've got the Tiger there, we've got the Borsig there, we've got the Fatherland to the left hand side. I just need to ensure I'm doing as much damage as possible. Now they're playing quite cleverly with the Borsig. He's pushed below the ridge. The Fatherland and Waffentrager are actually pushing all the way on the other side of the cliff where I can't get any hits. We get a very, very lucky shot off against the Borsig there and take him out for the second kill. The Jagdtiger in front of us has got himself in position where he can start dominating the valley. Just to lessen our advantage, we've got our light on the right hand side being a little bit cheeky. See if he can flank round the back of that Jagdtiger. Now, it's at this point I've noticed our left hand flank, we've pretty much lost all our view range, all our spotting down that 1-2 line. I'm aware the Waffentrager and the Fatherland are going to peek around there at any moment, and they're going to be fairly difficult to deal with because we've got the light tank to the left of me and me on low health, 431. I'm not a one hit to the Fatherland unless he gets a high roll, but I'm definitely a one hit to the Waffentrager. So I let the scout engage first just to light him up, put the shot into the Waffentrager. That Waffentrager is going to be aiming on the scout rather than me. I just wait to reload. He's got a 10-second reload. I'm kind of hoping he puts a shot into the scout, but no, he's waiting for me. I put one straight into the turret of the Waffenträger. Again, with loaded HE, we're going straight through. Just melt him, take him out. It's at this point the Fatherland gets very, very cheeky. He knows the 30-90 is a one hit. I change straight to our normal ammo, put one shot into his lower glacis. We happen to bounce off him. This boy has to be dealt with. I've got to slow him down so our heavy tank behind him can get involved. Put one shot into him, we take the track out. We've got our Fatherland behind him. Again, he's a one hit like I am, but between us, we should be able to do some damage. Again, track him again. What I wanted to do was just track him in place so he couldn't push on me, and so the Fatherland could put a shot into him. Now he's got to make a decision. Does he deal with the Fatherland or does he deal with me? The armor profile of the Fatherland means it's very good frontally because of the pike nose. Once you get past the pike nose, you're just sort of dealing damage. Now the side arm is obviously space, so you got to be a little bit careful where you're hitting there. Again, I'm trying to track him just so he doesn't push on the Fatherland, take him out, and then turn around to deal with me. Fatherland gets a shot off, I get a shot off, take him out. Unfortunately, he takes out our Fatherland. That's not too bad in exchange, but it's not great. So we've got 4 kills at this point. They're pushing quite aggressively down the K line. I could stay, snipe, get the shot in there, but the Jagdtiger pops up. Now, I've had a little think. He's going to cause me all sorts of problems. Now, on my part, this is a mistake. I'm lit up, I'm pushing across fairly open terrain where I know the enemy team is located down the K line, can get shots on me, all to try and push on this Jagdtiger. Now this Jagdtiger is also perfectly aware he's fairly safe on that side, because at some point if I keep pushing aggressively, his team are just going to pile shots into me. So this play is really a mistake. I'm kind of hoping I can push around the back of the Jagdtiger, put the shot into the T10 just because it's an opportunistic target. Jagdtiger's dropped off from spotting. I'm not too concerned at this point, although I should be, because I assume he's going to push around the back of me. I've got the mobility on him. I shouldn't have too much to worry about. I get spotted as I thought I would, only in hindsight, not foresight. The Jagdtiger spots me, put one shot into him, duck below him. Again, my idea is to go around the back of him, but the map just isn't allowing that. There's no way I can get back up there, get behind him, track him and just circle him to death. I'm wide open to the enemy team that's pushed down the K line. I'm very aware of that. So I make another mistake and I decide to push back up where I came from and just hope somehow I end up trading positively with a full health Jagdtiger. In my mind at that time it seemed like a good idea. We're going to see. It's really nuts. So I push up. Again, he's got good cover. Put one shot, take his track out. He's got a tank in front of him to go hold down. He's got the train to go hold down. I look to put another shot straight into his track. Bounce that. It's at this point he settles into a very nice position. I've load premium. I aim it straight into... Nope. Dead. That is the big mistake. We end up getting capped out by the end of this game. I've cut the bit out. It was boring. It was just us getting decimated. So we've managed to end the game with 15 penetrations, 4 kills, just shy of 6k damage, which isn't bad. We've managed to utilise that DPM. I hope you're enjoying the channel, guys. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time, chaps.